Hey guys, it's Laurel. Today is Saturday, September 2nd, and this is FLOSSTUBE 44, I believe. It's been 3 weeks since my last video. Every time I say that, it makes me think that, I'm at a FLOSSTUBERS Anonymous meeting or something. It's been 3 weeks since my last video, because it is a little bit of addiction making videos. It's a lot of fun and I really enjoy it. But anyway, I'm glad you're here. If you're new, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back and seeing me. I have a weird mix of things today. I don't have any of my big pieces that I've been showing you. I didn't work on any of those since I saw you last. I'm going to give some real quick life updates. I have a finished piece that I did actually FFO. I have my whips. Excuse me, I can't get through a video without that. I have whips, I have haul, I have plans. Probably not as much stitching as I should have to show you for the amount of time that I've been gone, but considering what all has happened since I saw you last, it is a pretty good amount. So just a few quick little things, life update. Since I saw you last, my mom had some surgery and came up and stayed with me a few days. Not a life-saving surgery. I mean, it was a scheduled surgery and everything's fine. She's doing really good. But she came up and stayed a few days with us after the surgery, and I think she is getting a little bit of her stitchy bug back. My mom is that lady that as I was growing up, she did everything. She was a quilter, a knitter, a crocheter, a tatter. If there was anything that you could make with your hands, my mom did that. So, you grow up and you're your mother one day. I can't do all the things that she can do, but I did pick up a couple little things. And I did, after the surgery, I went and stayed with her for, I think, 2 evenings afterwards. And I just love seeing, she has some really neat cross-stitch pieces that she has stitched over time. And she actually bought it's not really a sampler, but it's sampler-ish, like an old, she found it at a thrift store or something. I don't know exactly where she got it, but it's really neat. So she was kind of looking at that, and I was kind of like, oh, that would be really neat to, have one to play to try to chart out or whatever. But it's huge. It is so big and so pretty. But anyway, so that happened. And then after that, I had talked in the last video, my husband and my daughter went and ran their Spartan race. We went and watched them. So it was just my husband and my daughter. My daughter's boyfriend, my son and his girlfriend, and myself were all spectators. So I thought I was prepared as a spectator, but I was not. I didn't take a chair. I didn't take an umbrella. I didn't take sunscreen. I will be ready for the next one because now all of them want to do this. I think there's another one in March. I do not want to do it, but I will go watch them, but I will be better prepared as a spectator. So that was a lot of fun. After that, what happened next? We got a new dog. I feel like I maybe said something in the last video, I'm not real sure, but Zorro is here. So we now have 3 huskies. I don't know what's wrong with us, but we did it. He's a very sweet boy, but he is a talker. Now he's in his crate right now. All the dogs are in their crates for their morning nap. He's very vocal. So if you hear something that sounds like a whale or a ghost or a baboon or some other random animal, it's just him talking. Because he's talking. He wants everybody to know he doesn't want to be in his crate where he is. But he's a sweet boy. So we now have the 3. I did spend a little bit of time this morning chasing him across an acre of our backyard because he found the hole in the fence and he's a little escape artist. So we're going to need to get that fixed. But that's been, that has taken up a little stitchy time with the dog. And then last weekend, my daughter moved into a new apartment. So we went Friday evening. They'd kind of loaded all their stuff up, and we just kind of went and kind of saw the apartment and helped them unload just a couple little things. And then Saturday, my daughter and I had massages scheduled. That was my Mother's Day present. So we went. They actually canceled her massage. Her masseuse was sick, but we did both get our facials and I got the massage, and that is amazing. If it's something that you have never done, you should treat yourself to that. I know they have like a monthly package, which I think if you do it every month, it's not as special, but she normally gets me that for Mother's Day, and it's amazing. And then what happened after that? I think that's all. That's all my life updates. That's a lot. So I squeezed it into a little over 5 minutes so you wouldn't have to hear me blabber too much. So let's move on to some cross stitch. So I have a finished piece that I do have framed. I framed it myself. It is Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, the Maker and Mender. This is stitched on 18 count Ada Affogato by Fiber on a Whim. The frame is all the called for colors. The frame is actually not the one I had purchased for this. I had originally purchased one that was a very dark frame because I saw several people frame it that way on Instagram. I'm sorry. It's a pre-made frame, so it doesn't have special glass, so it's a little glary. But I put the dark frame on it and I didn't like it. Well, I don't want to say I didn't like it, but it was not as ooh-ah for me as I wanted it to be. The frame was not as wide as this one. So this one I swiped from another project that is just a Christmas piece. It's a Lori Holt. It's one of the Home for the Holidays, maybe. When I first got back into stitching, I did a couple Lori Holt pieces, and that was one, but it's only displayed at Christmas. And I thought this frame was really cute with this one. It's very matchy, but I like it. I like the look that it gives. So right now I have it displayed on my piano, but I'm going to put it somewhere else because all the frames on my piano, that's a hard word, I guess, are very dark. So this one needs a new little home. So I don't know. This one might get hung on the wall. I have a little spot right as I come in the door here that it would be cute. And it has a little hanger. I could get my husband to put it on there and maybe hang it. He doesn't like to hang things, but I'm working on him. Okay. So let's talk about what else I've been working on. I did have 2 Whipco pulls. One of them I did, one I did not. One of them was Pandemic by Long Dog Samplers, and I wasn't in that mode. So if you're not in the mode to do something, I don't ever want to stitch something just because I had planned it to be stitched. I want to stitch what I like, and I wasn't in that mood, so I didn't do it. However, I did get my time plus a little bit on Caroline Amelia Trow. She was my other one. I'm sorry. I didn't bring water today. I brought a soda. And it's a little bubbly and it's getting me. I had started this one a long time ago for Sampler September. I was like, oh, I'll get it done in a month. What was I thinking? I did not. So the next Sampler September, I said, okay, I'll just finish the top section. I did not. And then I don't know if that was last year or the year before. I don't know. Anyway, it is nowhere close to being finished. However, I did make progress. It doesn't look like progress when you look at the whole thing. So I'm going to show you. If you remember seeing it before, you're going to be like, Laura, it looks just like it did. But it really doesn't. And I know it probably bothers some of you that I haven't finished the border down at the bottom, but I promise I'm going to get there. But I worked on the house. Now this house is got a lot of stitches, So if you can tell, all the windows are filled in. They have ecru in the panes. The doors finished. These windows are filled in. I did not have probably this section down gridded with the mortar, but I was able to finish that, and then I did do some more fill in on the gold color of the house. So now it's ready for, like some zoom stitching. It'd be nice to get out and just do fill in work, but I'm very excited to have the house almost done. And if you look, the house is like the bulk of it. I mean, everything else is small compared to the house. Basket. Basket. I did think about skipping down there and just doing the baskets, but I really want to finish the house before I go anywhere else. And then we'll see where I go after that. This is stitched on a Lugana. Let me see if I put my sticker in here. It's a Picture This Plus 28 count vellum, which is a really pretty color. I did start this 2/2, and the last time I showed it, I said I wished I would have done it 1/2, but now I'm back to liking the 2/2. So I guess it just depends on what mood I'm in, if I like the choices I made or not. But that's kind of with everything, I guess. That kind of makes sense. So got some work done on that. I don't have that on any kind of schedule. When it gets done, but it is really pretty. I started it after I saw Brenda and the Serial Starter. I said their name wrong in the last video. I said Brenda and the Serial Stitcher, and I get so mad when I don't want to say get mad, but I talk to the screen when people say their name wrong, and then I did it. So I'm sorry. Also, speaking of lies from the last video, I called Plum Street Samplers Plum House. There's no designer called Plum House. I don't know. So, Plum Street Samplers, bless our land. I had started this a couple of videos ago. I can't remember exactly where I was in the last video, but I'd kind of been taking it to work. I was kind of in that in between, like I don't really know what I want to work on. I'm not sure. But I feel like this falls in some of my cross stitch rules. So, you know, everybody says you should always have a red sampler going. I have that one. Louisa Cullimore, check. Got that going. You should always have a blackbird. I have blackbird, a couple of them going. So check. I myself should always have a Plum Street. I about said Plum House again. A Plum Street. Check. I always have a Plum House. A Plum House. Oh my gosh. A Plum Street going. And I feel like for me, I always have a patriotic stitch going. So this kind of covers two of those. It is a Plum Street and it is patriotic. Even though I probably have a couple more of those somewhere in my whips. But this is where I am. So I'm almost done. I still need to do the lady, finish the eagles. I haven't picked a gold yet for the feet and the beak, so I got to do that. And then there's some flowers that will need to be finished. So I love it. It's been a lot of fun to stitch. This is on a piece of 36 count brown sugar linen by Fiber on a Whim. And I really like this color. I have a couple things now started on this, but it's a really pretty piece of linen. I was watching Hobbies of Holly, her last video. She did a kit parade. Ooh. Now, if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what would, but it was wonderful. But she's the opposite of me. She likes to stitch on light. She doesn't like browns. I love browns. I have a harder time stitching on the lighter fabrics, but I'm coming around. I think it's one of those things too. Depends on the project and what you want the finished look to look like. But I do tend to veer towards the darker colors. So my next piece is I Wait for the Lord, which is beautiful. I'm stitching this with Kim of Contented Needleworker Kim. I act like that was hard to say. And Christa of Wildflower Stitcher. They are such fun ladies. I love them to death. And this stitch is beautiful, beautiful. I'm stitching this on a piece of Lakeside, 36 count. That my friend, the Lakeside Whisperer, fixed me up with. That's what I call her. So what I have done is I just kind of started. I did the first couple rows all the way across, and then I kind of jumped down and started on the words because I think Kim is done now. She's getting ready to frame hers if she hasn't already. And Christa is only doing a smaller portion. I am doing I'm juggling is what I'm doing. So I'm doing everything, but there's an over 1 alphabet right here. I'm leaving that out, but my plan is to do everything else. So, but I wanted to come down and do some of the fun stuff in the middle that they're doing, because I keep seeing theirs and I'm like, oh, I want to be there. I want to get there. I can always come back in and fill in my alphabet and all that afterwards. But I'm really enjoying that. I have made this my Sunday stitch. So I don't normally stitch on linen in the car. So I have like a car piece that I work on driving back and forth to church. And then between church services on Sunday, I work on this one. And then Sunday evening when I get home, we normally settle in and watch a little TV. So I'll sit down and stitch on this one. But I'm really, really enjoying it. If you haven't watched, just while I'm thinking about it right now, because I said Kim and Christa, after summer school, there were several videos put out, as there always are after a big retreat, but Christa and Stitch and Jim did a video together that was phenomenal. Like, I need them to figure out how to do a video all the time together because it was really good. And Kim did a video with Lakeside Stitcher. Amazing. Like, they were both, like, so good. I don't know what it is, like, I mean, of course, I always do my videos by myself. I don't have any stitching friend close that can just drive down the street and us do a video together, but I really love it when some of the people that normally do videos by themselves team up with somebody else when they're at an event like that, because it's just fun to see them interact with each other. There was also Lala D Stitches has just recently moved closer to her sister, and she had her sister on as a guest on her last floss tube. It was phenomenal. Like, it was so good. Like, all 3 of those were just such good videos, just seeing the interaction between the two. So if you haven't watched all 3 of those, you should go back and watch them. I would put links below, but I'm not that techie, so I'm not there. The next piece I worked on is a little bit of spring. This is the SAL that I'm hosting with Stitching Jim. There are so many people doing this, and I love seeing everybody's adaptations. Several people are changing stuff. Kim, if she's not done, she's close to done. I think she's going to have hers. She's going to finish hers in a drum. And I was wrong. Her and Christa are both taking the house out. Me and Stitch and Jim, we are doing the whole thing. So I think we're close to being in the same area. I will put the hashtag down below for the SAL. This is one of 2 SALs I'm hosting. The other one I need to get back out and work on. So it'll come back out probably after Sampler September. But this is where I am. So I've done all the outer border, part of the inner border, and some of the alphabet. But these colors are so good. Let me see if I can get a little bit closer. They're just dreamy. All those pinks have been converted. I used to just, pink was just not it, but I'm telling you, like, I love all these soft, and it has a little bit of like brown tones and greens. This is going to be beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. So I had worked on all that, and then I was like, you know, I just want to do something a little bit different. Like, I need almost like a cross stitch palette cleanser before I started in with Sampler September. I talked about my plans in the last video for what I'm going to do. And of course, now I want to tweak them a little bit because so many people are like showing their plans, and I got to watch because they will veer me. But I have decided one of those stitches that I said in the last video, I'm going to make it a 2 threads a day piece through September, and then I'm going to slide a 5th project into that spot. So right now I'm looking at working on 5 for Sampler September. But all that to say, I knew I was going to kind of switch course from what I was working on into something a little more organized for the month, and I decided that I just wanted something, just something little to work on that I could get a little bit of progress and just not think about anything else until September hit. So I pulled out Charlotte Murdoch by the Scarlet House because I love everything that Tanya does. I've never met her, but she's got to be super awesome to come up with such great stuff. I just love everything she does. Everything. Her new releases. I haven't ordered any of the new releases yet because I'm trying to be good and not like go crazy. But you'll see during haul. It's not really working, but I am definitely ordering a couple of hers when I do order some of the new stuff. I want to try to hold out because I know if I order them during September, I'm going to like veer off track from my plans, but I don't know if I can hold out. You know, sometimes you just want them in your possession. But I had started this sometime last year. I went through this little phase where I was starting little stuff or little-ish stuff every Monday. I just decided I wanted something happy at the end of a Monday, so I was starting new stuff. So I picked this one. I am using most of the called for colors. There's a weak dye where it's mascara. Normally, if it's just a black that doesn't really show a lot of variegation, I just use 310. I'm sorry, I must have a cloud go over. It just got kind of dark. But this I'm stitching 2/2 on a piece of 25 count wheat Lugana. It's really cute. This is not the original fabric that I wanted to use, but the fabric that I wanted to use, I didn't have enough big enough piece. I did not have a big enough piece. So I wound up picking this one, and then I'm glad that I did because this was at a point that I failed to look to see if charts had 1/1 stitching, and this one does, and it would have been really hard on the other piece I picked out, but this is where I am. So I had done, all of this was done, and most of, I think I had a couple letters left in this row, so I finished the letters, did this row, this, and now I'm doing the last row of letters, and then I can start on the puppies. But look, there's 3 big puppies right there, and I have 3 big puppies right now, so that kind of works out, right? Okay, so that's all the stitching that I've gotten done, which, like I said, considering all the extra events that we've had going on, I feel like that's not too terrible, but I am hoping to like buckle down this month and get some more stuff done. But like I said, we have a new dog, and if y'all have dogs, you all remember how it was when you first got one. He does go get neutered in a couple weeks, so that may calm him down a little bit, but he's a sweet boy. All right, so I just want to show you a couple things in plans because, like I said, sampler September, but I do have my 2 whip go draws for September. So the first one, and this has been on Whip Go a few times, and I just can't get into this for anything. It's just a little cutesy for my taste right now, but I'm too far in to not finish it. So this is Christmas boxes. This is by Pine Needle Designs, I think. She has some really cute stuff. I started this, and my hold up was I decided I would just pull from my stash colors, and I'm not good at that. I mean, look at my tree right here. It's almost yellow. What a terrible color I picked out. But am I taking it out? No, I'm not. I'm not going to do it. So I am going to try to get some work done on this. It may not be something that, I mean, it might be something I just love once it's done in a frame. Sometimes just finishing the piece, like fully finishing it, gives it a whole different look. So I'll finish it and put it out at hopefully I will finish it and get it put out at Christmas this year and decide if I love it or not. I don't know where that came from. I did sleep last night. I slept really good. I slept late this morning. My husband's golfing, and he took one of the dogs. We have their crates in different rooms. So one of the dogs is in our room. So he took her out this morning, let her use the bathroom, then put her back up. So I got to sleep till like 9 o'clock this morning. I don't even remember when the last time was that happened, but it was wonderful. I loved it. Okay. Just random thoughts just spew out of my mouth sometimes when I do my videos, and then I go back and watch it, and I'm like, they don't care, Laurel. They just don't care. So I'm sorry. Okay, another Plum Street. This is my other Whip Go Pull. Live on Little. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And I'd said before, I'm not a super nautical like person, but this one I really like. I'm really drawn to it. I like this whole, all of these that are this size that she's done. I mean, I guess you could call them a series, but they're not really marketed as a series. But I love it. This is on a piece of 20 count Aida. I'm stitching 1/1 with the called for colors, and I think it is Vintage Country Mocha. It's kind of big. My screen just went choppy. I'm sorry if it went choppy on you. But that's where we are. I feel like this is where I've been forever. I feel like every time I get it out, I work on it, I put it up, and then I'm still there next time I pull it out. But hopefully I can squeeze in. My Whip Go goals for my Whip Go pieces are 2 hours, so surely somewhere in the month I can find 2 hours to work on that one. All right, so we're going to move on to haul. Slide this out of the way. So, I'm sorry, I got sunburnt when we went to the Spartan race, and I'm peeling now, so it's very itchy. So let's talk about a couple charts that I bought. This is my autumn salt boxes. I had ordered this, but it didn't come with that last order. I talked about it. So I have autumn, I have spring, I have summer. I think I have 3 out of the 4. I need to go look. This one's super pretty. As are all of them. Super pretty. Lucy Beam, I'd said, or maybe I didn't say, but 123 Stitch had these on sale. Lucy Beam. So ordered Friends or Flowers. This was in, maybe a Nashville release last year, 2023. And I saw it and I loved it. And I was like, but I put it on my list. I have like a little wish list still of those things. It wasn't like ooh, I need to stitch it right now. But it was on sale and I was like, yes, I will take that. But now I need to find a piece of, it's stitched on Grandpa's shop rag from Lap and Loops. So I need to find a piece of that. So if y'all know anybody that sells that, let me know, because I need to look. I probably want to do it on, I don't know, do I want to do it on 40? I bought some 40, but I haven't tried it yet. So either 36 or 40. Pretty pretty. And then this one is from, oh, it's also from 2023. Oh, that's real cute. Be a quick little, this checks boxes for me. It's fall, it's patriotic. Should be a quick stitch. I mean, it's a little bit of fiddly stitching up here, but I love it. I love it, love it. I do like Lucy Beam. I'm starting to acquire quite a few of her stitches. The next one I'm going to show you, I'm just going to kind of flash it because it's, I mean, this isn't the chart, but it's not a picture, but it's a very small version of the chart to show you. It's not what you use as the key to stitch off of, but it is kind of charted that way. So it's a little flashy. So I'll just flash it. So this is inspired by Pam with Just Keep Stitching. It's probably, I'm going to say it's been like 3 videos ago, maybe at this point. They were discussing the Titanic exhibition that where you went and they gave you a ticket and you were one of the people on the Titanic and you went through the whole thing, and then you found out if you were a survivor or not. And she showed a cross-stitch kit that she had done of the Titanic, and it was a full coverage, but it was really, really pretty. So, I mean, I like the Titanic. I think it's a very neat and sad story. My brother and my mom are just fascinated by it. They have all kinds of things that they have collected from there. My brother is almost, I don't want to say he's obsessed, but he's really, really into Titanic stuff. So I was like, well, let me just look up, see if you can still get that kit or that pattern, because maybe, you know, I could do that over the course of a couple years and give it to him for a birthday or Christmas or whatever. So I got looking, and they did have that one. If you go on Etsy, there's several different Titanic charts that you can get. But then I saw this one, which is basically, let me see if I can just cover part of it. It's basically like a boarding pass that says White Star Line's boarding pass, permission granted to come aboard White Star Line's RMS Titanic. So it has the date and everything on it. So I thought that was kind of neat. So it was like $7 or something. So I downloaded that, and I'm going to try to start on that to give him at some point. I don't know. And then I downloaded the next section of the Teresa Kogut Hometown Stitch Along. Have I started it? Nope, not at all. I have all the floss. I have the fabric. I have everything to go. I just don't have the time yet to start, but I am printing them off. So maybe, I thought maybe, even if I don't get started this year, maybe, because it's a 2-year stitch along, maybe next year I can do like 2 sections a month and keep up. But I don't know. I'm not at the point of planning next year out yet. And then I bought this instantly when I saw it. Rebecca Stewart. Something about this just, it's just beautiful. Look at the border. Now we know, if you haven't figured out yet, borders just pull me in. I love a good border. My friend Kim, she's the opposite. She's not about some borders, but I do love a border. And this reminds me a lot of, I don't want to say reminds me a lot, but it does remind me of floral motif a little bit. I like it. And I know some people really don't like this, like symmetrical stitch, 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 stitch. I don't mind it. So this one is, I haven't purchased any of the supplies to do it yet, but it's 229 by 320. So on 36 count, which is my current like favorite count, it would be almost 13 inches by almost 18 inches. If I did it on 40, it would be 11.5 by 16. So that's a thought. Now I do have to say, and I'm by no means there at this point, but my friend Rebecca was stitching something on 46 count, and the daintiness of that was just the most beautiful thing I think I've ever seen. This would be gorgeous on 46, but I just don't know that I could do that. I need to practice on 40, so I don't know. I have to see if my desire to start this wins and I start it on 36, or if I get a little practice time and start it on 40. If I can hold off. We'll see. And then I had a friend that was destashing and destashing. So she listed some charts. This one I have looked at for a while. Michelle with Penny's Daughter Shares worked on this for a while, and I'm sure she finished it. Did she? I'm sure she did. Faith, Hope, Peace, and Love by Teresa Kogut. I'm sorry, I should have pulled out the package, but I didn't. But I just think this is beautiful. I love all the colors. I love the linen. What is it? It's stitched on weeks dye works 40 count straw. I think you can get that pretty easily. So pretty. So pretty. I love it. Look, it matches my nail polish too. And then this one, this just was meant to be because like Girl Stitches, she was doing the video with Kim. She showed this piece, W. Wallace. I don't think she was done with it. I think she was close to done. But it is stitched with, it gives you several different conversions. She stitched hers with gum nut, and I think the model, yeah, the model is also stitched with gum nut. It is beautiful. So I have to look to see about pricing gum nut. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 8 colors. So I have to see. This will definitely not get started before beginning of the year because I just have too much other stuff going. Because I said that I'll probably start it because that'll probably be a lie that I said. But I love it. I think partly because it reads red, white, and blue. I'm not 100% sure even about this portion. But I don't know. We'll see. But, oh. It's so pretty. So she put this up and I was like, well, I was looking at that. I mean, I had already like looked it up on some websites after I watched their video. And I guess that means I just need it. It's a Red Barn Samplers. I haven't done one of her charts. But it's so pretty. I mean, it's the charts in color. It has the symbols and it's colored, and I like that kind of chart. It's easier for me to read. So, very pretty. 133 inches wide by 196 inches high. And then, like I said, I'd stayed with my mom for a few days. And while we were there, we looked at, I have a bunch of old pictures and stuff that she gave me that I'm going to use for some stuff in my Etsy shop. And it was just so neat. There were so many pictures of her as a little girl that were just so fun to see. Pictures of my grandparents when they were younger. Pictures of her and my dad when they were like younger than me. And my son is the spitting image of my dad on their wedding day. Like if you look at the wedding picture of my parents, it looks like my son is marrying my mother. It's a little bit weird, but it's so wild how much alike they look. But she had some stuff. She was going through some stuff and she said, I found this cross stitch book. She said, I thought you might like to borrow. It's called Historic Samplers. I don't know. I didn't look to see how old it is. Let me see what the copyright is. I mean, it feels... Sorry, I can't even turn the pages. It feels like it has a little bit of age in it. 1992. So it has... I'm so sorry. So sorry. So it has some old samplers and it gives some history of them. Let me just see. Let me show you one. It's very pretty. It gives some of the, and it will give like a little, excerpt about what history they found on it. It gives a little bit of detail into what some of the things mean. Some of the verses mean some popular verses that were put into samplers at different dates. But it's really cute. So I'd kind of thumb through it some. This one's really pretty. I like this one. And the charts are in here as well. It's not just pictures of them. It's not the best charting, but they are charted. So I'll show you one more. So that's very neat. So she said I could keep that as long as I wanted to. And I will, because there's a couple in there I would like to either stitch part of or stitch all of, but that's the story of my life. So many things I want to stitch. Okay, so the last thing I have to show you is quilting haul, but before that I just want to show you real fast, like 2 minutes, a couple of new floss drops that I'm going to put in my Etsy shop. So I have some bigger ones, so I just want to show you. This is the size you normally get right here. And this is the size of the ones that I'm putting in my shop today. So the bigger size are rose gold. So I'll just show you a couple. Makes my hand look giant. It's a little rose. And a camera. So I've got a few of those that I will put in my Etsy shop this afternoon, or probably right after I do this video, and then I'll put the link to my Etsy shop if that's something you're interested in. I also have some more borrow markers. The place where I had them printed didn't do my reorder correctly, so we went back and forth a couple times. So I have a couple orders of not exactly what I wanted, and then I have one where the design has changed just a little bit. So some of that will be coming up and put in the shop, but you'll see it when it hits in there if that's something you're interested in. But the borrow markers have been pretty popular. I've had several orders on those, so I appreciate anybody that has taken the time to go over there and look at my shop and place an order. So I appreciate y'all very much. All right, so now let's talk quilting haul, because again, no quilting. I did get the latest episode the latest issue of American Patchwork and Quilting. I saw it in the store, so I bought it thinking that my subscription had ended, and then it came in the mail. So that's okay. I'll take it to camp and give it to my roomie at camp. But it has some really pretty stuff in it. Fall quilts. I mean, they're just gorgeous. You can't go wrong with them. So I'll just show you. This is kind of some of the contents that are in it. Super, super pretty. I love these that have that mimic the little design. Very pretty. So I do have multiple fall quilts and projects that I want to do, but cross stitch has just sucked me in right now, but I'm still gonna get there. It's fine. Now, last video I showed you I had another Simple Whatnot, and I don't know, did I say that was 3 or 4 now that I had not done? Since then I got another one. This is number 8 of the 13th Simple Whatnots Club. This is Zigging and Zagging. Love that. So, and it's little. Finished size is 10.5 by 10.5. So, I don't know. If I don't get some of these knocked out before camp, I will probably take these to camp. I have so many of these kits, and they're so beautiful. And they're so quick, and they're so, like, I can send, 4 at a time to my long armor, and it's just, or when I send a bigger quilt, I'll send this, like, at the bottom on the same piece, and it saves me a little bit of money. And the colors are beautiful, and it's Kim Deal, and I just can't wait. I think there are already sign-ups for 14th Simple Whatnot. I'm pretty sure, I hope I'm not lying, but I'm pretty sure you can sign up to be notified on Fat Quarter Shop for the next one. If that's a lie, I'm sorry. And then, speaking of Kim Deal, I'd forgotten about this. I had pre-ordered this back, I don't even know how long ago, and it came in. So this is Hidden Stars Quilt Kit. Oh, look at this. Now, I love a blue and white quilt. I love a red and white quilt. I have another Kim Deal little kit over there somewhere, and I have several Jolly Bars that have this coloring, but I love this. So if you can see, that is what this quilt will look like. Obviously I got it from Fat Quarter Shop. I think you can get just the pattern also, so if you just go in Fat Quarter Shop and Google Hidden Stars Quilt Kit. So it looks like they are doing quite a lot with Kim Deal, and that makes me very happy because, again, I'm a big Kim Deal fan. I have a quilt out of one of her, years ago. It was in a magazine, and I want to do it so bad, but it's all scrappy. So all of these Simple Whatnot kits, I'm saving all my scraps from that, and that's what I'm going to use eventually for that quilt. If you go over and watch Olivia with Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, her background quilt is the name of the quilt has lost me, but it is a Kim Deal. I have that pattern. I didn't buy the kit. I wish I would have, but I do have the pattern, and it's beautiful. So if you go over and look at that, I'm pretty sure she still has it in her last video as her background piece. But that's all I have for today. So I didn't quite make it to an hour, but that's not terrible for everything going on. So I'm sure I have forgotten to say something or mention somebody, but I'll catch up eventually, maybe in the next video. So I hope to see you back in 2 weeks. Could be 3, could be more. I don't know. Just depends on what's going on in my world. I do appreciate you so very much for taking the time to come spend with me. I hope that we all get to meet one day, whether it be face-to-face or Zooming or, you know, at a online retreat, a real retreat, something like that coming up. I do have a couple things coming up with some friends, and I'm really excited about that. It's always fun to get together with a group of stitchers. I didn't get to go to my last stitchy meetup because it was the week my mom was here, so I stayed here with her. But we have one coming up. Maybe, I think it's tomorrow. I think we have Stitchy group tomorrow, so that'll be fun to get back to. But anyway, all that to say, I do appreciate you coming. If you feel so inclined, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up and a like. If you haven't subscribed and you want to come back and see some more, just hit the little subscribe button and you can be notified for new videos or not, whatever you decide. But I do appreciate y'all, and until I see you again, I hope you get lots of stitching and lots of quilting done. Bye, guys.